the damn naked statues in this freaking city. So many of them. Hi, guys. How are you? Long time no see, huh? TGIF to everybody. Had to park a little further than I like today. My walking's still not good, unfortunately. It's a little bit better than it was, but still pretty bad. I think it's going to remain like this until I decide to do something. If I decide to have surgery, and I just, almost want to just deal with it. So right now I just do the best I can. So let's see here. Point at all these kids. Yikes. Well, okay. So how the hell are people getting in? All right, so I'm a little scratching my head right now, to be honest with you. Hold on. Get off of that. Are you serious right now? So they don't even, okay. I'm just trying to like wrap my head around all of this. Okay, so what the fudge? All right, well, clearly we can see that the White House is still fenced in. Now I understand that they had the African leaders here a couple of nights ago. And Netanyahu was here. Now, for most world leaders, and we know this, we've seen this, okay, they don't put this fencing up, okay? When they do have, like, one of the world leaders come in, you know, they'll just put the caution tape in front of Lafayette Square here and, you know, hold everybody back. Now, for Netanyahu, we've seen lately several times him coming in, you know, they'll put this fencing up. But that was Monday. That was Monday. So I honestly do not know why they haven't started taking this fencing down. And what's got me really like, now they're letting people in. I am not going to, honestly, that's the kind of pain I'm in. I am not going to be able to walk all the way around this side and all the way down over there, it looks like, in order to get in closer to the White House. I'm sorry, I can't do it. And it appears as if that's how you got to do it, because they don't even have the front up here open. Like, you know, normally they'll have that, you know what I mean? We've done it before. Normally they'll have that front up there open and you can just walk on up. So I'm a little scratching my head to, you know, why this fencing is still here in the first place. Because, you know, from everything I've seen, it's like this fencing should have been down already. You know what I mean? they put this fencing up, a couple weeks ago, prior to, the 4th of July stuff and that big protest that they were expecting here. But it's still here. And now I see leaving it, like I said, I see for the 4th, and then I see leaving it up for Netanyahu. But that was Monday. It's Friday. Normally it should be down by now. I don't know, okay? I don't know. We'll just keep an eye on it and see how long it stays up. I mean, I'm a little, yeah, scratching my head. Anyhow, so I'm sorry, guys. It's just, it's bad enough with like the back, but it goes down my leg. It wraps around the front and my groin. It's just, it's so bad. So I try not to walk like really long distances right now. So we're not going to be able to go up and take a peek around. But there's nothing to see anyhow. So just let me tell you what's going on here. That flag is so beautiful up there, isn't it? Okay, so so here's what's going on here, which is really nothing. Okay, they had a flight out early this morning. I would have loved to have seen that, but that at that time of the morning, it would have added another hour onto my hour and 15 minutes. And like I said, this back, can't do it. So they had a flight out of here this morning. So nobody here. Well, at least, Trump is not here. It is super quiet throughout the whole city. Like, even for tourists, everything. I haven't seen it this quiet in quite a bit. And I get it. It's like the week after 4th of July, everybody partied up and all that stuff. So that's pretty normal. Even for like tour buses and that kind of thing, it's really, really quiet here. Capitol Hill, it's like crickets. It's like crickets, even tourists. There's no lines like at any of the places to get in, any of the museums or visitor centers, anything like that. There's no lines really. There are no buses at the Capitol, so the Senate side's bus, House side buses, no buses there. That's how quiet the city is today. So basically the only thing going on here today is the construction and like this fencing, which I don't know. I'll be back like Monday or Tuesday to take another peek around, and we'll just see if it's still up. I just would really like, from just all of this experience, I would have thought it would have been down by now. I really would have. So I don't know. But we'll take a peek in another couple days. So basically the only thing going on here is like the construction everywhere. And I actually thought about doing, kind of a quick update on the Fed Reserve, because that's now the topic of conversation. Even if I didn't walk all the way around the place, I was thinking about doing a quick update on that. But there's no parking over there. So I can't, so I'll have to wait until I come back in a couple days for that as well. But it's really strange. that Fed Reserve, we've been watching that for what? The one building for 2.5, 3 years now. But the building, the other part of the Fed Reserve, I mean, that's already been done. So I just think it's amazing what has happened here over the past, 5 years. That has not been shared other than from this hot mess. It's amazing to me. But, and like I've said a million times, I honestly, guys, I don't know, the first time I came, 4th of July made 5 years since my virgin voyage here with Jalen. We came for the 4th of July. And even at that point, I sat over on 17th Street that day with her. And that's when I sat here and I was like, you know what? I was just starting to do all the deep dives, researching everybody. I didn't know the city at all, at all. I was terrified of it. I had no intention of starting what I did by coming here and doing this. I had no intention at that point, but I sat right over there on 17th Street and sat on the steps of the Daughters of the American Revolution building, and I promised that, you know, I would at least stick with this truth stuff and putting it out there. And it was brutal at the time. Like, I was losing friends, like my real, not like you guys aren't my real people, but like friends in my life that had been in my life for forever, and family members. So it was not the greatest time. But yeah, so that was 5 years. And I had no idea that in just a couple of months that I would start this incredible journey, like this crazy, incredible journey at the time. And it's amazing that what we've seen, we don't see a whole lot anymore, except like the construction and an occasional hula. But in the beginning, we saw quite a freaking bit. Quite a bit. But I honestly, I don't know what happened here before I came. I really don't. And I'm sure, now that I look back, I'm sure there was a lot of stuff that took place before I came here, when he was in office the first time. Yeah. I mean, it because when I started coming, it was already kind of in play. It just took me months of studying the city and understanding things and driving through 5 million times a day, you know, to understand that. So, anywho, what else do I want to say here? But everything's the same. I mean, you know, like even the FAA, they're still fenced in. They're still both fenced in, barbed wire, concrete barriers surrounding the buildings. Makes no freaking sense whatsoever. No construction ever done there. But those buildings are still fenced in, barbed wire, these damn big concrete barriers still around both buildings. Prisoner of war flags, both buildings. No construction ever. Makes no sense whatsoever, being our Federal Aviation Administration. Does it now? Unless it was taken over by some people. That's how I see it. But yeah, it's nothing going on, very quiet, except for all the construction. So I'm just going to get my butt out here, head on home, because there's just nothing to see. And just hang on. I know that things are really freaking crazy right now, and I don't know, you know, I wish I had answers for everything. I truly do. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that sometimes I don't get frazzled. We all know that I do. And I struggle emotionally and mentally and all that stuff. But I know damn well what we've seen here and what's happened here. I just don't have titles for it. And I don't know everything. I don't know how they're making moves and what's going on behind the scenes and all of that stuff. But what I do know is that, and this is the God's honest truth, that in the past, and I've been here for 4 years and 9 months now, because in September, it'll be 5 years of my journey. I've never once doubted. And like I made that post yesterday, you know, about, I was sitting right across the street there at that corner when they arrested me. And I was told they didn't want me to stop. They just want me to be mindful. That was actually the third confirmation that I had, because I had gotten one from the U.S. Marshal before that. And that same night, when they detained me at the Capitol, the National Guard, the U.S. Marshals, and the Capitol Police, that's when the Capitol was still all fenced in, and there was fencing everywhere up there. Yeah, they detained me that same night. The U.S. Marshal confirmed everything for me when I was wearing my Q sweatshirt. And they confirmed it then. I've had multiple times like that, by people within it, not just influencers, or, because I'm not falling for that shit. Okay, I'm not. But, you know, so I've never once doubted what was taking place here. Now, I can't speak for everywhere else. I've seen what's happened here. I've seen what happened in Annapolis, and I went and covered it with Hogan. and his mansion and the military piling in. So I've never once doubted it, any part of it. I just wish I knew more. I wish I had more answers. So when things do go crazy like that, I may be able to give a little better of maybe what's going on, but I don't. And I don't like to guess. But sometimes I try to put my thoughts together, and, I don't know. We all try to do that. We're all just doing the best that we can right now. And, the laws and orders things, I understand that to a certain degree, but I'm not going to say I'm really well versed at it. But we are certainly under a military operation. I mean, there's just no doubt between, everything. So it's just, I just don't understand it all. And I don't know how long this is going to be. Like I've said a million times, I honestly thought that I would be here for just a few months. And it wound up being this long. So I just don't know everything that goes behind the scene, guys. But just hang in there and just kind of sit back. And I know it's tough. I know it's tough because we're tired. We're stressed. We want justice for all the victims. We want justice for ourselves. We're all victims, We want justice. We want changes and things. That's quite normal, okay? But we also have to understand that we don't understand behind the scenes and how this all plays together. And what I can say right now is just watch people, okay? Didn't I tell you about a month ago that that everybody was going to be pushed into the light, okay? And I wasn't going to be one of them, remember? Pay attention. Because I'll tell you, I've been watching people. I had an experience, and maybe I'll tell you about it another time. I had an experience a couple years ago with somebody really big within this that proved to me that they had no idea of shit, no idea of what was going on here. And they should have. So that was a very big indication for me that there were people in this that were not in this for the right reasons, okay? And I'll just stop right there with that story because I don't need to be getting in trouble with a bunch of people. But since the beginning of this year, I have been watching people. I've been watching people. When I'm quiet, I think people really underestimate me. I don't say everything. I don't say everything, but I've been watching. And people, you need to watch, guys. And it doesn't matter if you've been with them for all this time. It doesn't matter if they have 1,000 followers or a couple million followers, because there are people in between that range of all ranges that are being paid for. They've been bought out. They're on a payroll. And some were actually paid to just disappear. And I know that to be a fact. So right now, kind of pay attention. That's what I can suggest to you. And realize what's really going on. There are a lot of people that, a lot of people that aren't who they've portrayed themselves to be. And it's very upsetting to me, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So, anyhow, that's enough rambling. Just stop there before I get myself in trouble. I'm just going to get out of here. There's nothing more to show. I'll keep my eye on this. Come back in a few days, like Monday or Tuesday, something like that. Hopefully be able to find some parking. We'll do an update on the Fed Reserve. I mean, they haven't gotten way too far in the job yet. It's going to be forever. And that's just about it, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and get out of here, okay? So I love y'all, and I'll see you later. Y'all just hang in there.